So, yes, I did grow up in an English pub, and it is very good training to be a therapist. I wish to say, though, that Rich Simon is the most amazing fibber, and that I am nowhere near a competitive tango dancer. I'm a beginning tango dancer. But it does actually fit, because tango has a form, but it's also improvised in the moment. So in order to dance tango, you have to be very present, very tuned in, very responsive. In fact, I remember my first tango lesson, and the teacher said to me, now, you see, tango is a different kind of dance, because you have to be, in order to dance tango, you have to be completely focused, totally present, totally engaged with me and tuned in. But you probably have no idea what I mean by that. And I said, I think I might. Because you see, I'm a therapist. And he said, no. You know, as if, what's that got to do with it, right? So a relationship is also an improvised dance. It's a dance that constantly creates itself. It's a dance that changes and shapes the dancers. So I'm going to start my talk with showing you just 70 seconds of tango. This is not the dramatic over-the-top tango that you see in the movies. This is real tango. This is tango as an intimate conversation. So, what is this? The basis of science. You're all scientists because you all spend your life observing a dance in your office when you see a couple or a family and saying to yourself, what is this? What am I seeing in front of me? What is the pattern? Well, when I look at this, I say, maybe this is two people in mutual flow. This is what Csikszentmihalyi calls an optimal experience of energized focus, full involvement, being in the zone, right? And usually he talks about that in terms of music or art. Or maybe this is resonance. This is the word physicists use for a sympathetic vibration between two elements that suddenly allows them to synchronize signals and to tune into each other and to start to act in harmony, resonating with each other's rhythms, reading each other's affect and intentions in the moment. This is a neural duet. Two people impacting each other on a visceral and emotional level, and just as mums and infants do in play. And by the way, the big news in the neuroscience of relationships is just how much interactions with loved ones really do impact us. Lovers regulate each other's physiologies, brain activation, emotion. Jim Cohn in his research found that if you're securely attached, In a threat situation, in this case when you're afraid of being shocked with an electric shock, holding your loved one's hand literally changes how your brain perceives and responds to the threat and how you experience the pain of the shock. This is a long, long way from the old idea that love is just some nebulous mixture of sex and sentimentality that can't be defined. We're putting love under the microscope here. Evidence is that this kind of tuned-in resonance, this pattern of communication, is necessary for the growth of the right social brain in infants. It literally shapes the brain. Resonance behaviors from mum result in more verbally intelligent, aware, emotionally balanced kids. Kids who are then more able to create synchrony in their own relationships with other people. And in adults, this kind of tuned-in responsiveness is perhaps the essence of falling in love, and I believe the essence of good sex. So, maybe then, these images of tuned-in, coordinated movements simply capture romantic love. And as Rich said, it is not so long ago that no self-respecting person who ever aspired to be a scientist would ever stand up and use that word in front of colleagues and peers. John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, did not dare call his theory a theory of love. He called it by the formal term attachment. And in fact, what I can share with you is the two people dancing this tango are a happy, secure, long-time partners. They are both fully present, fully engaged, creating synchrony. In emotional interactions, this delicacy, the delicacy of this web of mutual influence can be sensed when we note that the detection and processing of the smallest change in the human face occurs within 100 milliseconds and is mirrored by the observer's right hemisphere within 300 milliseconds. Beneath awareness, floating emotional cues, fleeting, not floating, fleeting emotional cues and rhythms are the music of the dance between intimates. This kind of interaction, with its openness, its responsiveness, its fluidity, is the ultimate goal of emotionally focused couples therapy, or EFT. This kind of experience creates a felt sense of safety and connection, a safety where we can be fully engaged in a vibrating loop, linking nervous systems, engaged trustingly with our own experience and our love.